This is Sigurafeden, and I'm making this video in response to a comment I received on the Hades introduction video. They asked if the Greek underworld differs from the monotheistic hell, and if yes, how so? Well, hell, coming from Old English hell or hele, meaning netherworld, abode of the dead, infernal regions, place of torment for the wicked after death, from Proto-Germanic halio, the underworld, source also of Old Frisian Helle, Old Saxon Helia, Dutch Hel, Old Norse Hel, German Hole, Gothic Halia, literally concealed place, compared to Old Norse Helder, meaning cave or cavern, from Proto-Indo-European root kel, meaning to cover, to conceal, to save. The modern usage as the eternal torment is probably a reference to the Norse myth of Helheimr, the realm of bitter cold ruled by Hel, daughter of Loki and Angerboda. What happens to humans after their bodies refuse to function has always been up for debate and has given birth to many stories. Even in monotheistic religions, the land of punishment is different from one religion to another. Zoroastrianism are afraid of harsh winters and thus made a cold hell, which Christians later adapted. On the contrary, the Semitic people feared the decade-long drafts of their homeland, a desert place, and so the form of eternal punishment would be heat and flames. In the earliest establishments of Greek myth, it was believed that the psyche of humans was removed at the moment of death and traveled to outermost regions of the earth, past the river Okeanos, yes, they believe the ocean to be a river, and down into an underworld called Abyss, literally hidden place, and they would collectively roam it as shades. In later tales, we see detailed analysis of post-mortem judgment. The Greek underworld can be divided into several parts. First one is Erebus, the realm between the living and the dead, literally meaning darkness, child of Chaos, the primordial progenitor, and brother and husband to Nich, goddess of the night. Erebus is the place which the dead enter immediately after death, awaiting by the banks of river Styx or Stich for Charon the ferryman to usher them farther down so they can be judged by the sons of Zeus, King Minos, Acus, and Rhadamanthus. Those who did not get buried with an obol coin under their tongue could not pay the tithe for passage, and Charon would refuse to board them on his ship, leaving them to eternally await for the chance that they may see a proper afterlife. Charon's ferry can navigate all 6 rivers of the world, which are, first, Styx, the most prominent and familiar, and also the one that led to the place of judgment. The river was so powerful that the gods themselves swore unbreakable vows on its name. The real-life Styx has been recorded both in Arcadia and Nonakris. The second river is Acheron, the river of misery, believed to be either in Epirus, in Thesprotia, or in Cumae, Italia. The third one is Phlegeton, also called Piriphlegeton, the river of blazing fire. Plato believed this one to lead straight to Tartarus and associated with imminent punishment. Next up we got Cocytus, the river of lamentation. It is described as a branch of Styx, later flowing into Acheron. According to Plato, it is circular or emptied into Tartarus, and is associated with punishment for murderers specifically. Lethe, or Lethe, is the river of forgetfulness, taking its name from the goddess Lethe. For souls to reincarnate, they would have to drink from Lethe so they would not remember their past lives and could be born anew. Lastly, we have Okeanos, the titanic river that encircles the entire world and marks the border between the earth and the underworld. Descending farther down into Hades, we are met with the gates, guarded by the 3-headed dog Cerberus, which is never mentioned to be from a certain species or breed, and for all we know can be a cute dachshund or a pug. The judges of the underworld merit a soul before sentencing it to a certain place. The most wicked of sinners would be sent to Tartarus, a reality so far below Hades that It covered the same distance as between Earth and sky, with only Chaos residing under Tartarus. Tartarus was the birthplace of monsters and the prison of the Titans, whom Zeus could not slay and would rather contain than set free. A vast majority of people were sentenced to the plains of Asphodel, literally Asphozelos Lemon, but it is unclear if it meant a field of asphodel flowers or a field of ash, because asphodos means ash in ancient Greek. The shades would eternally roam the plains, eventually forgetting their uninteresting life and become hollow zombies without even a body. Elysium was the best sentence one could get, but had to earn it through exceptional means. It was a utopian paradise, perhaps even inspired by the Persian myth of Paradis. Usually, great kings or heroes would get to see this heaven, but later on more righteous people were also accepted. The god Avis, or Hades, also called Hades by some people, hosted all the dead but feasted only with the Elysians. Due to his managing role, he was given the alias Zeus Chthonios, or Zeus of the lower world, which probably angered the Chthonic king since he was barely anything like his younger brother. Hades was not known to torture the dead nor claim their souls. He was merely a manager, a record keeper, a supervisor. Punishing the sinful usually fell to Erinyes, or the Furies, the three sisters Alecto, Megara, and Tisiphone. Erinyes famously cast a plague upon the land of Thebes for the unavenged murder of King Laius by his unknowing son Oedipus Rex. Let's move on to monotheistic depictions of hell. What is currently regarded as hell is probably from the tale of Gehenna, the myth built around the real valley of Hinnom surrounding ancient Jerusalem from west and southwest. The valley of Hinnom is first mentioned in the Hebrew Bible as part of the border between the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, according to Joshua 15:8. During the late First Temple period, it was the site of the Tophet, where some of the kings of Judah had sacrificed their children by fire, according to Jeremiah 7:31. Thereafter, it was cursed by the biblical prophet Jeremiah, Jeremiah 19:2-6. In later Jewish rabbinic literature, Gehinnom became associated with divine punishment in Jewish apocalypticism as the destination of the wicked. It is different from the more neutral term Sheol, the abode of the dead. The King James Version of the Bible translates both with Anglo-Saxon word hell. Christian usage of Gehenna often serves to admonish adherents of the religion to live pious lives. Examples of Gehenna in the Christian New Testament include Matthew 5:22, "Whoever shall say, 'You fool,' shall be guilty enough to go into Gehenna." Matthew 5:29, "It is better for you that one of the parts of your body perish than for your whole body to be thrown into Gehenna." Matthew 5:30, "Better for you that one of the parts of your body perish than for your whole body to get into Gehenna again." Matthew 10:28, "Rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in Gehenna." Matthew 18:9, "It is better for you to enter life with one eye than with two eyes to be thrown into the Gehenna." Matthew 23:15, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you make one proselyte twice as much a child of Gehenna as yourselves." Matthew 23:33 to the Pharisees, "You serpents, you brood of vipers, how shall you escape the sentence of Gehenna?" Matthew 9:43, "It is better for you to enter life crippled than having your two hands to go into Gehenna, into the unquenchable fire." Mark 9:45, "It is better for you to enter life lame than having your 2 feet to be cast into Gehenna." Mark 9:47, "It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with one eye than have two eyes to be cast into Gehenna." Luke 12:5, "Fear the one who after he has killed has authority to cast into Gehenna. Yes, I tell you, fear him." Another book to use the word Gehenna is a New Testament in James, specifically 54. Um, so, but here we have James 3:6, and the tongue is a fire, and sets on the fire the course of our life, and is set on fire by Gehenna. The name given to hell in Islam, Jahannam, directly derives from Gehenna. The Quran contains 77 references to the Islamic interpretation of Gehenna, but does not mention Sheol or Hades, and instead uses the word Qabr, meaning grave. In Muslim tradition, graves are considered gates to the underworld, both paradise and hell. 122 Muslim authors propose that hell coexists with the contemporary world somewhere underground and try to locate an entrance to hell, and propose that one of its gates lies in the valley of Hinnom. Jahannam itself is only the name of the uppermost layer of hell, preserved for Muslim sinners. Even those who uphold the eternity of hell believe that Jahannam will be eventually destroyed after people have repented for the sin and have been punished enough for millions of years. Yeah, thank you.